Hey all, welcome to Galactic Moto. Recently changed my name from Galactic Demos to Galactic Moto. My channel is going to be more than just demo rides, so that's the reason to the change. But to get to the point of this video, I'll talk about what you're going to be needing for this installment of these aluminum adjustable rear sets and what equipment you will be needing to be able to get this job done. I'll post a link in the description to the OEM parts and also the ones I got from Aliexpress. Now, for the parts needed. You'll be needing a 4mm Allen, a 5mm Allen, and a 6mm Allen. Now, depending on the rear sets that you get that are possibly not going to be the same ones I have, you might be needing different tools, so keep that in mind. That being said, continuing on, you're also going to be needing a 13mm socket, an 18mm socket, a ratchet with an extension for convenience. Now that ratchet can be either a 1/4 or 1/2 depending on what you have on hand, but I would recommend just using the 1/4 since that's what I used. The extension is not really needed, but it will be helpful for being able to reach it better, and it's just, like I said, convenience. Anyways, I also highly recommend a 10mm ratchet wrench for the brake side, and that will be in another video. But in case you see this video first, definitely get that 10mm ratchet wrench because that brake side without it is quite annoying and a long process. Wanted to make a mention that the other item that you will need, and I highly recommend getting, is some blue thread lock. You can go with the very known brand if you would like. I just used a Harbor Freight brand that does the job. It was cheap, it was easy to get, so that's what I ended up using. Use it on every single bolt that you have to install because you do not want any of these vibrating loose on you and anything falling apart as you're riding. That would be a huge no-no, and you definitely don't want that happening. Bit of a close-up that I wanted to add into the video. This is off of AliExpress, these rear sets, but the aluminum that they use is actually really good quality, to be honest. This whole set right here was pretty lightweight. I can't really remember how much pounds wise I would say. I would say maybe a good 3 pounds, 5 pounds maybe. I honestly don't remember anymore. Anyways, it was really light. It felt great to the feel, to the touch. The quality was really nice. It really caught me off guard. These products from China, to be honest, they're getting really good. especially the parts that I've received from Aliexpress that are exact OEMs just being sold cheaper, or knockoffs or quote unquote knockoffs being sold for this bike. But nonetheless, if you're worried about the quality, I can reassure you from my perspective, in my opinion, the quality is pretty good. So this next section of the video, I wanted to leave this in instead of editing this section out. You can skip ahead to the part where I actually continue on the install, but I wanted to keep this particular spot of the video inside, untouched, unedited, because I wanted to let everybody really know what can happen when you get parts that don't come with instructions, that you kind of gotta figure it out on your own. And that's exactly what I was doing when I was installing these rear sets. I've actually never installed rear sets on a bike ever before. This was actually my first time, but it looked pretty simple, so I was telling myself, why not dabble in it? Gave it a shot. It was pretty straightforward once I started really getting the hang of what I needed to do. But as you can see throughout the video, I'm struggling to figure out which bolts to use, because I was trying to use the OEM bolts that came with it, and that's how I figured, especially watching some of the videos. I didn't fully pay attention to the other videos of what bolts they were using at the time, but for the majority it looked like they were using the OEMs, which for the most part they are. They're using the large nut for the original, but they weren't using the OEM bottom nut, which is a 13 millimeter. They ended up actually using a Allen nut for that one, and further in the video you'll be able to see which one I use once I get it figured out. That being said, a bit of a warning also. This kit comes with a couple spacers, and I know the OEM rear set also comes with these spacers, but none of the current YouTubers, 2 YouTubers right now, that have posted videos about installing these, do not talk about what these spacers are for, and they don't really tell you how to use them, where they go, etc, etc. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to keep this section of the video, so y'all can see my mistakes, to not make the same mistakes, and where to use those spacers for this specific application. I mentioned before regarding the spacers, and right around here in the video I remembered about those set spacers, and I take them out. So what you're going to want to use is the spacer with the big hole is going to go right on top, right there between your chain, and the smaller spacer with the small hole is going to be used towards the bottom hole that's right below your chain. So those spacers are going to be used on both sides, on your brake side and also your gear shifter side. So you have exactly two pairs for each side. So do not lose them, do not throw them away when you first get them. I had no idea what they were for when I first opened the box. I tried, you know, playing puzzles with them and trying to see if they would fit anywhere, but end up figuring out afterwards, okay, that's what these are going to be used for. And further in the video you'll see how I place them, and just follow the same steps, and hopefully it'll go smooth for you once you get into installing these rear sets, or hopefully similar rear sets that are set up very similar, and hopefully this video can help you out. So around this part of the video, I went back inside my home to try and find the packet that had the screws that I was going to be needing to complete the installment on this side. One thing I recommend doing, if you get screws that are provided to you, don't immediately try using them. Check the other screw with the OEM and make sure that the thread pitch looks about the same distance, they look around the same shape. And then once you got that figured out, if you think they're about the same, go ahead and hand screw it into the hole of where you're going to apply it at, and slowly turn it with your hand if you can. If you have any resistance, there might be some leftover residue of thread lock. Just do your best. But if you get any like very hard resistance, then more than likely that's meaning that the pitch is different. That screw is not made to fit in that hole. That's what I'm kind of doing here in the video. I'm testing to see if these screws that were provided are the same thread pitch so I don't ruin the holes, because once you ruin them, you can't really do much after that unless you rethread them, which is a whole process, and hopefully that doesn't happen to any of you. I ended up using the other screw, Allen key screw, that's the same size as the OEM nut screw, because the longer screw is going to be used on the brake side. But at the moment, I did not know that was the case. But you know, I was doing a process of elimination, and hopefully with this video, y'all don't have to do that, because it was a lot of time that I had to go figure this whole thing out step by step on my own without any instructions. And that's what this video is really meant, is to be able to help anybody else that has similar rear sets to not have to go through that struggle, so it can make it much easier for everybody else to be able to install these. And that's why this video is also really long. I apologize about that, but I wanted to be more thorough on this video on the installments compared to my other videos, to try and be as helpful as possible for you as the viewers to struggle less and see the mistakes that I made and be able to process and eliminate those steps and just jump to the steps that were the correct parts, so you can continue on from there. If you're interested in knowing what the torque specs are and would like to use a torque wrench to be able to tighten these down to spec, you can find the torque specs on your owner's manual on page 150, and it actually starts around page 149 to 150 in the online owner's manual on the CFMoto app. if you made it this far into the video, give yourself a pat on the back, and thank you for watching this video, and I hope it helped you out in the end. But hit that like and subscribe button to help me out to get these videos shared as well. If you can share this video, please let everybody know. If you like my videos or if you don't like my videos, let me know what I can do better, how I can improve, etc, 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 what every YouTuber says. Anyways, much love to you all. Thank you so much for watching this video, and just let me know what else I can do for all of you. More videos to come up in the future. Gonna keep posting regardless of subscribers or not. I love doing this. Hope to see y'all in the next one. End of this video, I'm adjusting the rear sets, setting them to what I think I'll end up liking. You can do this as well yourself and give it a test. Sit on the bike, see if you like that position, go for a test ride if you'd like. Then once you find the selection that you have and or want, then use some thread lock, some blue thread lock, and then solidify it for that position. That way it doesn't vibrate loose. But otherwise, mess around with it a little bit so you can get the best feel for your body and what you like the best. Don't necessarily copy exactly what I'm doing because this is a position that I prefer based off of my track bike. But otherwise than that, mess with it a little bit and get it figured out for what's best for you.